Hi everyone, welcome to a new season of Partimento workshop. In this first chapter, describing Partimento, oral tradition, and where to start, I'll expose the fundamentals of my vision on Partimento practice, which are relevant to understand my method for studying Partimento. Out of necessity, I have found myself in the need of explaining what Partimento is in a way that can be understood even to non-musicians. The way I describe it is, Partimento is a system for music education originated in Naples in the middle of the 1600s, and it was used to teach music in the orphanages of Naples. This method gave as a result high-quality musicians. Very soon, the system was exported to other parts of Italy and other countries in Europe and even to the colonies. Here in Mexico, for instance, have been found partimenti and solfeggi by Francesco Feo, Leonardo Leo, and Francesco Durante. Partimento had its golden era in the second half of the 18th century and the first years of the 19th century. The system was based on the resolution at the instrument of exercises written in a single staff applying the rules of counterpoint. This system had great influence in composers like Scarlatti, Rossini, Mozart, among others who learned it from the Italian maestros of Partimento. Due to its Italian origin and its development by Italian masters, often I refer to Partimento also as the music system of the Italian school of composition. Even though this is only partially correct, I use it because it includes also other elements like the study of Palestrina's counterpoint that is intrinsic part of Partimento. I perceive the Italian school of composition as a blend of pure counterpoint, Partimento, and solfeggi complemented with the study of musical form and meter, always accompanied by the practice of the theory on the instrument and or voice. For many reasons, I think that the study of Partimento must start with counterpoint. First of all, because historically is how the 17th and 18th century maestros look at music, but also because with counterpoint we learn the most basic and most important rules of music. The foundation of classical music, among others, is in traditional counterpoint. Once we have learned the rules of this game, we can apply the rules to solve the exercises called partimenti. Partimenti provide predefined harmonic templates that will teach us how to conduct the harmonic movement to create a correct musical speech, a correct and proper musical speech. There are exercises with one or two modulations, with chromatism language, or to practice imitation. Once we have learned to conduct ourselves following most of the times the baseline, we can proceed to study the upper part of the work with more detail. For this, I use the solfeggi exercises. In my methodology, I try to accompany the study of counterpoint, partimento, and solfeggi with the study of musical syntaxis and grammar as if it were a language. At this point, I begin a more advanced study of topics like musical forms, meter, styles, and musical rhetoric. All of this must be always practiced on the instrument. So up to now, as summary, I can say that even though the study of Partimento was and is only one of many other elements used as part of the Italian school's training, in the work itself is implicit the study of counterpoint, solfeggio, form, meter, among other topics. So once in a while I will use Italian School of Composition or Partimento to refer to the same thing. Partimento and the oral tradition. To our days, we have not found many complete Italian treatises that show exactly how is it that a Partimento exercise can be turned into a complete work. Most of the times, there are only booklets with a list of rules to be applied in the written exercises. This is because that's all that needed to be written. The rest was carried in the master's memory. The deepest secrets were transmitted orally from teacher to student. I think that here is where we have the biggest challenge nowadays, how to use the study of Partimento for composition and improvisation. This combined with an often understanding of music from a modern perspective can make the path of Partimento practice kind of difficult. In my method, I have tried to use and incorporate as many tools as I can if they serve my purpose or my purposes, like chord symbols, terminologies from jazz, musical rhetoric, the theory of affects, and more, but always trying to maintain the historical essence of this method. I have mentioned that most of all, I treat music as a language with pauses, commas, colons, phrases, modulations, endings, and openings. This is the reason why I have put a lot of emphasis on creating a technical language that will allow us to understand these nuances. Depending of our formation and our own way of understanding music, we call a certain element of music a certain way, and often there might be two people speaking about the same thing but using a different term. In my methodology, I use the figure-based system, chord symbols, and Roman numerals. Nevertheless, I use each system for different tasks. For example, I prefer Arabic numbers to study the harmonic relationship of two voices, while I find chord symbols more useful to represent the overall harmonic texture of a passage. Defining the function of each system will allow us to understand Partimento even if we have different perspectives. As a result, we will obtain a process for music creation that will allow us to construct pieces from a given exercise, but also we will be able to deconstruct a finished work of the masters into its most basic form. Musical rhetoric and the theory of affects are also very important to my vision. I see music not only as a language. I believe that every melody or harmonic movement are part of a speech that has an impact in our mind, soul, and body. I usually say, theory at the service of the instrument at the service of music, and why not, as Bach proposed, music at the service of something greater than us. So, dear friends, up to here, I have exposed the fundaments of my vision about Partimento. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in a new chapter of Partimento Workshop.